Hello. Hi everyone. Good morning. Welcome back. As part of the today's session, we are gonna study about the friendly locators that we have in this karate framework. So if you observe these friendly locators, using this particular locators, if you observe right off, left off, above and below, if you have some idea on Selenium, you might have used these locators. See, the thing is, I have one object, right hand side to that particular object, perform that operation. I have an object. Below that object, I want to perform that operation. I have an object. Above that object to perform that operation. Consider that your desired object is not having any locators. In such cases, you can use any one of these friendly locators that fits your requirement. So in this situation, what I'm going to do right now is, so I will identify the password field. Above the password field, there is a username field. Let us enter a username value. Below the password, there is a password field. Okay, below this password label, right? This above this label, there is a text field, and below this label, there is a text field which enters the username and a password. So using above and a below, let's do that. And next to the remember me, on a left hand side, there is a checkbox. Let's click on that particular checkbox. And next to a not a customer, there is a try a free. Let's do this particular activity too. So here I have I have explained about a above, below, left to, and right to 4. We are gonna see a practical example for the same on this Salesforce application. Let us copy this Salesforce application. Let us update this particular URL. And after opening the URL, let's wait for some time. Okay, I just want to wait for some time. And right now, here, my objective is, first of all, to enter the username using this password label. Right click on a password label, inspect it. And this password is having a fur and it has a label. Let us write down an expand / label open braces at the rate of for is equal to, we have a password label identified right now. And above this password label, there is a text field, and this text field does has an input tag. See, basically this text field does has an input tag. Let's come back here. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to identify above the password field, above this password field. And after that, if you go back to the documentation and if you see right now the syntax, basically, by default, whenever you are using any of these offs, left off, right off, above and below, it will search for the input tag itself. So it means if you are using a left off, it will search for an input. If you are using a right off, it will search for an input by default. If you don't want that particular thing, in such a cases, we can use a find, and that find will be used here. Okay, find followed by a tag name. As of now, I need to identify an input itself. Even still, I'm just defining a find an input. Okay, on that particular input, I need to enter a value which I'm using input. I'm giving a value as my name, Surendra. So what we have done right now, above this password field, identify an input tag in which enter a name as a Surendra. And after that, wait for some 17 seconds to see whether the action is performing or not. Right click, run as a cucumber feature. I'm trying to execute this one. Let us see whether it is performing this operation or not. Above the password text, I'm trying to identify an input in which I would like to enter a value as a Surendra. That's fine. Let us see how this is going to work. So it should enter a value into the username field as a Surendra. Let's wait until the application got load and then it will perform the operations. So let us see this activity. So it's loading the content and now it's entering Surendra into that particular field. So successfully entered this value. Perfect. And right now we have seen a simple example on an above. There is a below also. See, basically below this password text, there is another text field where you need to enter the password, right? Copy this whole line and paste it here. Instead of above, change it to below. I just changed it to a below, and even I am entering Surendra into that particular field. Below the password label, identify an input tag in which enter Surendra. Let me try to run this particular program and see whether it is performing the operations or not. Okay, so it's trying to launch the browser, and let us see. It should open up and it should enter the details. Let us see that execution. So now it's opening the browser, and now the URL. It should enter a value into the username field. After that, even it should enter a value into the password text field too. Both the username and a password, it should enter the data. Perfectly all right. The script got entered. So like this, you can identify one particular object and you can identify its above node and as well as a below object, and you can deal with it. Okay. The similar way, there is a remember me text is there. Right here, there is a remember me text is there. Next, left to the remember me, there is a checkbox. Right click on this remember me, inspect. And this remember me is having a label and it has a for attribute. Copy it, / label, open braces at the rate of for is equal to. So I was able to identify this object. Copy this locator, go back to the program, then left of this particular object. What is this particular object? This is a remember me. Left to that, what you need to identify? An input. So here, find an input. See guys, here I'm using an input. I can use it or I no need to use it. By default, it's gonna identify an input itself. And for which I need to perform a click operation. Hence, I am using a dot click command here. Okay, I'm using a dot click command here in order to perform this particular operation. Okay, let us try to run this program and see how this is going to work. So run as a Java application. This time, whatever the checkbox is there left hand side to the remember me, it should click on that particular checkbox. Okay, it should click on that particular checkbox. Let us see that activity. Okay, let it run. The program is it's executing. So whichever the left to the remember me checkbox is there, it should click on that particular chunk. Let it execute and let it see. Okay, so it's loading the chunk. Surendra got entered. Again in the password, it should enter Surendra, and even the checkbox got a clicked. Perfect. Left off is done. And right now, the next thing that I want to do is not a customer. Right hand side to the not a customer, there is a button. I want to click on it. So here, this is having a P and this is having a class name. Let's take this particular one. / P open braces at the rate a class is equal to. So guys, you may ask me a question, Surendra, why always you are using this XPath itself? I'm comfortable with this particular XPath, hence I am using it. Whichever the locator type you are comfortable with, go with that particular locator itself. And on this right hand side, what is the locator that you want to do? Right hand side, there is a tag for that particular button. So find A. Okay, find A. And I want to perform a click operation on it. So whenever you click on it, try for free, what it will happen means start your free trial message or the page should display. Let me try to run the script. So we have a covered above, below, left off, right off. All these four we have a covered. Let me try to run the program and see how this is gonna work. Okay, it's getting executed. Okay, it's getting executed. So it should enter a values in this particular fields. Okay, it should enter a values in this particular fields, and then it should perform a click operation on it, try for free. Okay, Surendra got entered and again Surendra, and it should click on a try for free. That's the reason the free start your free trial screen got a display. Okay, this is the way how exactly you can use this particular friendly locators. These are some examples on these friendly locators. You can try on your own application and you can validate this particular behavior. Okay, perfect. See you in the next lecture. Bye-bye.